Hey everyone, thanks for joining us. This is episode 23 of the Canadian Geekcast. I'm your host Matt, and today I'm joined by Dennis.
Hello, another episode of Two and a Half Men.
And Josh is
Excuse
back
me?
with us.
What just happened there?
Two and a
Who's
half
the
men.
half?
Me, obviously.
Oh, okay. I think between me and Matt, we count as like maybe two each. But
Yeah.
I mean,
I wasn't calling myself the full man. I'm the
it's
half.
all good, buddy. It's all good. And hi.
You're going to notice that we are missing Steph and Steve this episode. Steph is somewhere in the wilderness getting in touch with nature, and Steve is off at Fan Expo getting his geek on. So next week they'll be back with us. I'm sure Steve's going to have a lot of stuff to talk about for Fan Expo. So, yeah, that's where they are.
The reunion episode has been delayed by just a couple more weeks once again.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll do something special for the reunion episode.
Will there be pie?
Punch and pie.
Nice.
All right, if you were just tuning into us for the first time, each week we like to get together to discuss everything geeky, from latest video game news to film and TV and kind of whatever catches our interest. You can catch us pretty much wherever you can find a podcast. And we're also on YouTube, and we try to go live on Wednesdays. If you do like what you hear, please give us a review wherever you can. You can also send us an email to CanadianGeekCST@gmail.com, or our Twitter account, which is at Canadian Geek CST, and we'll definitely reply, and we may even read it on the next show. So before we kind of dive into this episode, we're just going to do a basic what have we been playing this week. Dennis, why don't we start with you?
So the most recent game I've gotten my hands on is Yakuza Kiwami 2, which is the remake of the Yakuza 2 on PS2, and I'm really loving it because like the other Yakuza games I've played, they've always felt like the gameplay felt like a PS3 game with PS4 like cutscenes, and this truly feels like a PS4 Yakuza game done right, because like it's just like when you're walking through the world, it's just like it's so beautiful to look at. And as well, there's like when you're walking as the main character, he actually walks. He looks behind him. He looks at his watch as he's going. It's like there's a lot of lot of cool things that they put in, and it also feels very RPG-ish in a way, which is always a plus for me. And I just because like when you get into fights, sometimes in the Yakuza games I've played, they don't matter sometimes, and in this game they really do matter, because you get these 5-point values that go towards upgrading your character, whether it be like life, like to upgrade, like get extra money or extra experience, or even upgrading just battle stuff, like hitting a bit more harder and getting new techniques and whatnot. So I really love it. It's because this game is this is like the second game that they have done with the engine. I think it's called the Dragon Engine, and they use that with Yakuza 6. So this is the second game to use it, and it's really beautiful. Like the gameplay kind of reminds me of Batman in a way, because you can just like you don't jump over the place, but like the battles can like go really quick compared to the other games I played. So I'm really loving it.
You mean the Arkham series?
Batman the Arkham series. Yeah,
those are great.
Yeah,
cool,
nice.
Josh, what have you been playing?
I've been playing something I can't talk about just yet, and Fortnite, and I just finished the Telltale game, Batman, the most recent one is. And what else did I do? Yeah, I think that's it, actually. Now that I think about it, that's about it. Oh, no, sorry, the new Walking Dead final season from Telltale Games as well. I'm all kinds of nervous about that one, how it's going to go, because, it's been years since we've been with Clem, and she's older now and much wiser, and it's the end of her story, so it's going to be kind of bittersweet, I guess, to see the end of it come, and the second episode drops at the end of the month. So I'm kind of, especially after the way the first episode ended, I'm kind of on eggshells waiting to see what happens.
Yeah, I just want to add something about Walking Dead. It kind of has that feel with the original season because you have a Clem and AJ, because it has that that kind of like mother daughter as Lee and Clementine had their relationship. So I'm getting a little bit of that feels because like season 2 was what it was. Season 3 was still the same. I feel anyway. I just hope this ends in a way that comes full circle in a way.
I need. I'm not gonna say I need it to end in a good, like on a positive note, but I don't know how I want it to end. You
just want to feel satisfied in some way, I guess.
I do. I want to feel like it was all worth the time and the money, and the butterflies in the stomach when things happen in the game, because it is good storytelling, and this season is shaping up to be pretty badass so far. So we'll see how it goes. Just one other thing though, I totally just picked up every episode or issue of Preacher, the comic series. So pumped to dive into that.
Yeah. Are you going to watch the show after reading the book?
Oh no, I'm totally up to speed. I burned through the 3 seasons in about a week.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, it was just one of those things I wanted to watch. I just never got around to it, and then I just started watching it, and I couldn't stop. And then I'm like, hey, I need more Preacher. So I went out and bought all the books.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I've been playing some more Vertical Strike Endless Challenge on the Switch because I'm finally writing my review of that, which is probably going to be up on Josh on your website by the time this episode releases.
Very excited. What I saw is very good, man. You're doing good.
So yeah, thanks. First time I've ever really reviewed anything, so just trying to make it all coherent is kind of, I think, my biggest challenge. Been doing that and started up Final Fantasy VIII for like the umpteenth time, but I'm playing it so that my 6-year-old can actually read all the text to help her improve her reading. So it's what my mother-in-law did with my wife and her sister when they were younger. They played through all like the Final Fantasies, and the two of them had to read all the text, and that's kind of what they did to help them with their reading. So
there you go.
Yes, yeah, been doing that, and I'll probably, if I can ever get a hold of Steve, probably play some. I'm gonna try and fire up Halo Master Chief Collection now that the 4K update's out, so we can do some online co-op or something.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I need to do that too.
Do you have Master Chief Collection?
Of course. What kind of Xbox owner would I be if I didn't have that?
Yeah, that's true. Good point. All right, well then the three of us will have to somehow coordinate.
Deal. It's just going to take me some time to get it because it's like 75 gig or something silly like that.
It's probably over 100 gigs now with the 4K update. Because we talked about this last week, and I think the Master Chief Collection before the 4K update, I was just around 80 gigs, and then I think with this 4K update, it's going to push it over 100.
Yeah, it probably is going to push over 100.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be a little while because that would be like 1/6 of my entire monthly data cap. And
take it with you to Vegas.
Yes, I'll bring it to Vegas with me.
Just leave it.
Just leave it running in the stratosphere. Just leech on their data. Deal.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, I'm not. I might take it to my parents' place and hook it up there. I don't know. We'll see.
Oh, okay.
Oh God, gotcha. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, Forza. I mean, the last Forza game is like over 100 gig with the 4K stuff, and that's coming out in a couple weeks. And I know I'm going to have that.
I'm just glad I've got a 4 terabyte hard drive on my Xbox.
Me too.
I have a feeling I'm going to need to throw a bigger one on there soon.
Yeah, I've got a 4 terabyte
to a
as
desktop
well,
drive or something.
But my internet's not going to really. It's going to hurt. So.
Yeah. I'm pretty much at the max for notebook drives, so I think next one is going to be a desktop, and then I can probably go up to like 8 or 6 terabytes.
Oh, I got the Seagate game drive or whatever the hell they called it, but I got the one that wasn't labeled for games, and it was like $50 cheaper.
That's all you're doing. It's like buying an Apple product and you're just paying a premium for a logo
and the green.
There's no different. Okay,
yeah.
That's.
Yeah, I bought that because it was literally $50 cheaper. It had the 2 front USB drives or ports on it. I'm like, yeah.
In the our Xbox One subreddit Discord, we've got a couple Microsoft people in there. We were talking about those drives, and yeah, I went on to a big rant about how those console branded storage mediums are an absolute ripoff, because all you're doing is you're paying an extra price just for the whatever brand it is. Like, if you ever want to get a big price shock, take a look at SD cards or micro SD cards that are Nintendo branded for the Switch. You're paying an extra price just for having a Nintendo logo on it, and it's no different than, the card right next to it of the exact same speed and rating. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
but people will buy them.
I know.
Yeah, I would always say just go cheap. Because with my PS4, I have like a 2 terabyte like Seagate drive, and it does the job.
Yeah,
don't need any branding on it to make it better. No. It's the same. It's absolute same.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I only went with the one that I went with because it has the 2 front USB ports, and it's helpful for charging things, or if you're playing like Rock Band or something like that with friends, you need those extra USB ports, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
Also, just to turn back a little bit to Master Chief, it's 86.9 gigabyte.
Before the 4K update?
No, with the 4K.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Then that's not as bad as I thought.
Yeah. Well, it's still almost 100 gig, dude. It'll still take me like a month and a half to download.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
We'll have to pick one of the games to play, and then I'll just get that done.
Yeah. All right, shall we move on?
Sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story.
All right, so in this episode, we're going to do our first topic is kind of just like a quick news rapid fire thing. Pretty much just some topics that came up recently that we kind of interest. First one is so back in May, Rosanne was canceled after Roseanne Barr tweeted out some racist comments, and that just kind of went from bad to worse pretty much. So show ended up getting canceled, but there's going to end up being a spinoff of this show called The Connors, and pretty much what this is going to be is they are going to end up killing off Rosanne, because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, it was kind of hinted at, or very strongly hinted at, that she had like an opioid addiction.
Oh no, they threw it in your face. They're like,
oh, did they?
She's got an opioid addiction. Like, she got blitzed up one night, and Dan was like, why are you so drunk? We haven't had that much to drink. And she was acting all wacky. He's like, what's going on with you? And she talked about how she's got like pills hidden around the house. And he's like, what? And she's like, oh, don't tell my husband. He's like, okay. And then the next morning he's talking to her, and he's like, pulls out all these drugs, and he's going through them like, oh, why does so-and-so, do they not need these, these pills anymore? She's like, well, no, mother gave them to me because he had them for his wisdom teeth and he didn't need them. And then he's like, I found all your stash. And she's like, okay. And then he said, we're going to get you your knee fixed, because that's her problem. She got a bad knee. And then at the end he leaves, and she goes and gets her ice pack out of the freezer, opens it up, and pulls out some more pills.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that wasn't even the season finale.
So that's like sitcoms from like the 80s and 90s. That's because a lot of times that's how they would do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what they're going to end up doing, it looks like they're going to kill off Roseanne and start up a new series just with the rest of the Connors. And so the reason why they decided to kill off Roseanne is because if they were to do the spinoff and she's still alive, then there's always the possibility of having her come back at some point. And I think they really wanted to distance themselves from Roseanne, based on what was commented and what was said. So this is kind of like the perfect way to do it.
Yeah. I mean, I guess so. I'm a little concerned about how it's going to change the tone of the show. Like obviously they didn't want it to die because it was the highest rated sitcom on TV last year. It was making massive numbers, and it continued to get bigger every week. So it's I definitely like. There was a comment that I saw John Goodman make about he's basically now just going to be what's the term I'm looking for, like a mopey widower, and that's not really his character, so it's going to change the dynamic a lot for Dan. And I'm not sure how I feel about how they're going about this, but I'm gonna tune in. I used to love this show as a kid, and I watched last season every week religiously, which is not something I do for sitcoms too often. So we'll see.
Yeah, this we'll find out come October 16th, which is when that comes back onto the TV. Speaking of more TV, House of Cards is hitting its final season of season 6. So after Kevin Spacey's allegations came out, they kind of the decision was to either nuke the show at that point or let it continue on, and they decided to continue it. So Robin White took over as kind of the main character, took over as president and everything. They are continuing. This season is actually going to only have 6 episodes. Unlike past seasons, which have 13, and we should be seeing that hit Netflix November 2nd.
Did they say if this is the end, or are they just kind of testing the waters with this shorter season?
I think they're ending it. This is kind of the way they're doing it to end the show on a hopefully good note. Who knows?
Yeah.
You know what? I started watching the show and I really liked it, but I just kind of forgot about it with too many other things going on. And now that like this all happened, I was kind of because I was about to get back into it, and now I'm kind of like not going to bother. I don't think, because I kind of know like some of the major plot points, right?
Yeah, you do.
Just because of this. So what's the point? Like, there's no mystery or intrigue for me anymore. So I'm probably going to end up skipping the show completely now.
I'm sure you'll be able to find on YouTube series, the people will do like a quick summary video on the series.
Yeah.
So
not much point now.
Find that.
I mean, like Kevin Spacey was a great actor, and the show was fantastic. Say what you want about him as a person, but as an actor, he's pretty fantastic. And I don't know, like, was she his like vice president when he was running in the show? I don't know, because I'm kind of confused as to how she suddenly go from Frank. Is it Frank?
Yeah,
Frank. Have him as the president, and then get rid of him somehow, and now she's the president.
There's a lot of like so what one of the vice presidents, like in his first not even the first term, when he was a governor, there was a vice president who had to step down, and he took over that vice president, and then he went through all this trouble to make the current president like a huge scandal so he could take over as president, and then he went on to his technical second term, and he ran with one vice president, and then it's just like a huge, because it was like
a soap opera.
Yeah, it's a soap opera in a way, and it just came to a point when there's another term, and he's running with his wife, who's going to be his vice president, and so weird. Yeah, it's
his wife that sleeps around with other people.
Yeah, it is
that he's fully aware of.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, they're swingers in a way.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, House of Cards is one of those shows. Like the first season was great, and then after that, it just didn't capture that magic in the later seasons. Again with like other like the Walking Dead game, I just hope it just ends on a good note. That's at least good for my taste anyway. I don't know if it will. Yeah, for fans.
Yeah.
I mean, they could always bring back Kevin Spacey again, and it could be like his good twin brother that was long lost in the Amazon jungle, right?
Amnesia after being with the Peace Corps.
Just a thought.
Yeah, but
call me Netflix.
Yeah, that will be hitting Netflix November 2nd.
Can't wait.
And our final quick news topic, on a bit of a sad note, the Mars rover has been kind of out of contact since a storm rolled in. I think it was middle of June. It was a pretty wicked dust storm, probably one of the worst ones that they've seen. And the rover, they lost contact with it.
It's because he's solar powered.
Yeah, so now Curiosity has some fail safes where it will put itself into like a deep sleep mode to conserve its batteries and try and keep everything going. It's got its heaters to keep its its equipment warm so that it doesn't essentially freeze to death. But with the length of this storm, the biggest concerns were that the batteries were going to run out or the heaters weren't going to be strong enough to keep itself warm so that it could wake up once the storm has passed. And the storm has actually started clearing up. I think when was the storm clearing up?
In like the last couple of weeks, I think.
Yeah. So in the last couple of weeks, the storm's been clearing up. So now NASA's Mars team, they're pinging the rover, trying to get it to wake up. Curiosity has been
incredible.
What, he's been on Mars for how long? Has it been? This one thing is like 15 years. Like it's gone well beyond its mission time. It'll be for a robot. It'll be kind of sad if this is how it goes. It kind of dies this way. But he's been still chugging along and everything. I think it even doesn't the rover also sing itself happy birthday every year?
Probably.
Yeah,
I know the Twitter account is pretty
I think
funny.
I've heard that before.
Yeah. So hopefully NASA can regain communication with the rover and can continue on exploring the Mars landscape. It's been one hell of a trooper.
Yeah.
Isn't it kind of funny how humans will create a bond with an inanimate object like a robot?
Yeah, it's a little strange. But I mean, this thing is done some like really, really neat stuff, right? And
I know.
It's just like it's blown the doors open on like the whole Mars exploration thing, and I think it's opened a lot more interest in it in both the scientific and, civilian communities. Everyone wants to know what's happening. Like I typed in Mars and it popped up like the Mars rover was the top 10 friggin' results, man. And NASA says that they're soon to start a 45-day campaign to revive it. Just imagine those people that have been working on with the rover for this long. You know what I mean? Like the engineers and the people that control it and send commands to it. Like this is what they've been doing.
Baby.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
Yeah, and so hopefully it wakes up and can resume exploring.
Come back to us.
Yeah. I would definitely say that they got their money's worth for this thing. It's
Opportunity, by the way. It's not Curiosity.
Oh, it's Opportunity. Sorry.
Opportunity. is or Curiosity. Sorry, is nuclear powered. This one's not. This one's solar.
Right. So, was there any other quick news things you guys wanted to touch on?
Big Mouth season 2 coming up. Come on, Netflix. Big Mouth 2. You guys suck.
Sorry,
I hadn't even heard of the series until you mentioned it the first time in our group chat.
Yeah, I don't even subscribe to Netflix, so.
It's so funny. It's hilarious, especially we've all gone through puberty once at some point in our life, and I'm still going through the big change myself. I'm just telling you, it's just super funny. It's just like a satirical look at growing up, and it's dirty, it's raunchy, and it's all kinds of hilarious. I just love it. So when they announced season 2 this week with the release date coming up real soon, sign me up. All over it.
Cool. Well, shall we move on to the next part of this episode?
I guess so.
Oh, great Odin's Raven!
All right, Dennis, this one is all Sony. I'm going to hand this one right over to you.
Yeah, so this is pretty much like an update from like a topic we did back in June, I would say. So Sony, one of Sony's executives says they won't allow Fortnite to crossplay because it believes they're the number one console. So there's no point in doing crossplay or offering it anyway for consoles anyway.
That's arrogance, man, and I hate arrogance.
It is.
Yeah, it's like I don't really have one side or the other. It's like because I'm like a single player kind of guy, so it really doesn't do anything for me. But it's kind of very anti-consumer as well.
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
big time. Like it's like Josh, like you're saying, Josh. Like it's the arrogance is unbelievable coming from from Sony, the camp Sony, and then you see it parroted in a lot of their user base as well. And it's just like, well, what do I care about crossplay? I got the best console ever. I'm like, all right, so much for
It's weird because it's like if Nintendo were to do it, they'd be like, "Oh, you're so old school in your way of thinking. Wake up and get with the now." If Microsoft was doing it, they're like, "Oh, you guys are anti-consumer. You guys are terrible." Blah blah blah. Sony's largely getting a pass from its user base, which I don't understand why. I'm not super big on the crossplay, which I know we've talked about. I mean, if I could decide to play with just console players, then I mean, we're talking a different ball of wax for me. But I mean, like I have played the game with Steve. He's been on his Switch and he's jumped in. We played Fortnite together, and it's been a seamless experience, and it's been very, very pleasant, and it's worked really well. Why they don't want to do it is stupid, but yeah, that's just another level of arrogance, and we saw this kind of arrogance with PlayStation 2.
We did.
PlayStation 3 turned out.
Yeah. I was gonna bring that up, to be honest, because because I've been playing on PlayStation. Like I've probably had every piece of hardware PlayStation. The main ones anyway, besides one, which is PlayStation VR, but I don't really think that counts. But so there's always been like ups and downs, and like when I heard this, I was like, yeah, that sounds like Sony passed. It's one of those statements. I'm like, I wonder how next gen is going to look for you. It's
sure.
Probably, I would imagine it kind of looks like PS3, like they're on even terms again with Xbox. So like, yeah, it's these statements are just it's gonna hurt you in the end, and like not
looks bad.
Yeah, it does look bad.
Yeah. So the Sony exec was saying like he believes that Fortnite is because they partnered with PS4, so the best experience, but they haven't really offered anything outside of some skins. Like I'm just
what else are they going to offer?
Still,
that's what the game's built around is microtransactions and skins. That's it.
Yeah. So I'm still trying to figure out how PS4 yields a better experience, considering I think the game looks almost identical across all four platforms, really.
Yeah.
3 consoles and PC.
I mean, technically they've also partnered with Samsung, and it's really just for a skin. It's with the new Note and the Note 9 or whatever it is, and the S3 tablet.
So I mean, according to that thinking as well, Samsung Androids are the best way to experience,
I mean, it is a pretty badass skin, I'm not going to lie, but I'm not about to spend $549 plus a 2-year contract on a phablet just so I can get a freaking skin for Fortnite. Screw that.
Yeah. No. This type of thinking is definitely will only harm companies in the long run than actually help them.
I mean, maybe in the past, Matt, but things may have changed, man.
I don't know. I think it's just looking at some of the comments, like the ones that aren't, parroting Sony. There's a lot of companies out there that either just like they don't care, or it's just like they think it's just a really stupid, it's a really stupid move, especially when previous games have had there've been like some crossplay. Are there any games that you can do crossplay between PlayStation and PC?
Yeah, you can. I think Rocket League has a crossplay.
I think Minecraft too, right? And Forza.
Not Forza.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because Forza's not on PlayStation.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I thought you meant on Xbox.
Oh, sorry.
I thought you just meant in general, but sorry.
Oh yeah, no, sorry. I meant on PlayStation.
Okay.
I think I heard like Final Fantasy 14, which was the RPG.
Yeah.
Or the MMO, I should say. That was crossplay. It's like one question that I've seen a few times is like, why does that work?
Yeah.
Why is that okay but not other consoles? Considering the PC is, sometimes arguably the better option between the two.
I think it probably says that they don't consider PC to be a competitor. They don't want to cross-play with competitors.
Honestly, it's a dumb move.
Yeah, it's a dumb move. Because PlayStation 4, I don't even think has the best experience online. There has been the online infrastructure is so bad. I can't even change my PSN username.
So about that, because that's come up in many conversations, and from what I understand, when PSN was in development, the username, the way your PSN name is coded in, it's a hard coding, so and the way it was written, so you can't change it.
Oh, I can't.
And it's because the developers, I think they took the lazy way and the way they wrote that, whereas on Xbox, it's because it's paired to your email address, your gamer tag can change.
Yeah, it's probably because of that lazy reason that the PSN got hacked 2011 or so, and it's such a bad online infrastructure that they really need to fix. Only then they can say, well, don't say that you have the best experience though. Just say it's a bit better than last time. Anyway, that's all I really got to say. It is what it is. I hope they change their thinking in the long run, because when the PS3 came out, they were pretty arrogant, but over time they got pretty consumer friendly. And the opposite happened. They were pretty consumer friendly in the beginning of PS4, and then they got really arrogant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see probably in a couple of years when the next iteration of consoles come out.
Yep.
We'll see how things go.
I still think fans are going to give it a pass. I don't think it's going to make any difference.
That's very true. That's
if you're really deeply entrenched with PlayStation, you don't really care. I mean, why would you? They've got some of the best single player experiences ever,
Yeah.
I mean, they'll still get their Call of Duties, their Battlefields, and that's fine for them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably not going to change. There's probably nothing that will make me, because that's just my main platform, and it's just, it is what it is. I just like it.
You mean Halo and Sea of Thieves isn't enough to get you to switch to Xbox?
No.
And Forza?
No, I'm good.
I'm playing with Josh and Steve and I
can watch
if we stream.
Yeah.
Well, shall we move on to our next topic?
Sure.
Nah.
No? Yeah.
You want to.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Dude. Let's do it.
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
All right, our next topic. Some big RPGs coming out. Josh, why don't you kind of tell us a little bit about that one?
Okay, so we're talking about Cyberpunk 2077. And earlier this week, was it this week? Yeah, this week's a blur. Earlier this week, they trotted out the footage, behind the door footage that they've been showing, I guess, back at E3 and at Gamescom. And they gave us a 48-minute long trailer, or not trailer, sorry, gameplay preview. And leading up to that, and I'm not sure how long it ran for, they just ran a Twitch stream that just had random numbers and letters generated on screen for a good number of hours. And then as people started to wake up around the world, they started hearing about it. There was over 100,000 people watching random numbers and letters come up on screen. It was insanity. And then eventually it changed and it said uploading started, and everyone just lost their minds. And then I think I got to it when it was 99% uploaded, because I did poke in. I'm not going to lie, I checked in to see what was happening. There was, when I saw it, 210,000 people watching a loading screen. I'm not even joking. It was a loading screen, and it slowly went up, tick, 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 tick. It was at 99%, and then bam, they went right into it, and for me, they blew it away, man. This game is weird. I'm super pumped about it, but I'm also a little scared by it because it looks too good. I don't believe, I'm struggling to believe that we have the technology with today's consoles, like I don't see it being on this like on Xbox One or PlayStation 4. I can't. This had to be PC footage with like that brand new Nvidia card, man, because to have the technology to make the world look that pretty and that dynamic, and just so not lifelike, but kind of lifelike in like a game sense.
It's almost
They've sold their souls to the devil or something to be able to do this if this comes out on current hardware, man. But like I can't see it coming out looking, I wouldn't even say 75% this polished. I can't see it. I just can't. And if they are able to do it, rip hard drive, man, because that thing is going to be on. That's going to be across 2 discs or more, because that thing, it blew me away. It absolutely blew me away. And I know Dennison, it's not his thing, and that's cool. It's too bad because the game looks ridiculous. But they started off with like, they kind of threw you into. They showed a little bit of the create a character mode, so you can be a female or male. They're not afraid to show nudity in this game. We'll see if that changes. And so in the footage that they showed, they had the main character and her partner going in there trying to find a rich girl who'd been missing, and I guess they were at a junker place perhaps, and where these people harvest people's upgrades, and they went in guns a-blazing, and the gunplay looked real sharp. There were multiple paths that they could take to get to the end game to, beat the final guy. Man, I don't know. The
destructive environments looked cool. Like when they were blowing out that wall.
Yeah, shooting through the walls, and
that looked really cool.
It looks insane. And lots of nudity. So like the first,
gotta keep on mentioning it. Because there's so much.
I'm just saying,
so it's perfect for kids.
I don't know how I don't know how they got away with like not getting kicked off of Twitch, man, or YouTube, because
there must have been some special agreement.
They must have been like, by the way, there's lots of Bobs in this one. Let's go. And
Bobs and Vagine.
Bobs and bum.
Yes.
And it was great though. Like there's a scene, and also like right after all that's all said and done. There's a scene where the main character, she's just kind of waking up after a one night stand with somebody, and she's kind of like in like a pajama shirt and her underwear, and just like the material kind of opens up, and it just looks so damn ridiculous how much detail there is in this game. It blew me away. I've watched it like twice.
Yeah, the physics in this game are just are unreal that I noticed.
Well, and there's
when you're talking like with. Just like the clothing and everything.
The clothing.
Yeah, it acts like a real piece of clothing.
Yeah, it really does. And the hair, the lighting is just. I'm looking at it right now, and the lighting is just insanity, man. There's no way this is current tech. It can't be. It just can't. And then they showed a chase scene, which was really cool. Like another side of the part of the gameplay dynamic is they're racing. They're in a car and they're shooting at bad guys. And it was all kinds of good stuff. I know it's not like a thing for you, Dennis. You're not real big on it, but I mean, just watch it all the way through, and just get a feel for like everything that you saw. Like I know you only saw a little bit. Give it a shot to watch it all the way through. There's so much stuff going on in there. I think you're just going to be blown away by it. I really do. Like I can't do it any justice by talking about it. It has to be seen.
This is it's a solo RPG, right?
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
Okay.
First person shooter RPG, kind of like it has a little bit of a Deus Ex sort of feel to it.
Oh yeah.
So RPG shooter. I mean, kind of like also Fallout, which is Fallout's an RPG shooter game. This looks really deep though, like crazy.
Yeah, see, that's kind of where my concern is, because I like that style. Like I like those games. Elder Scrolls is my jam. Fallout 4, I enjoyed playing, but then eventually I just get to the point where it's just like, all right, I need something different, and so I start playing something else, and I forget about the other ones. Like I've been playing Oblivion since it first dropped on 360, and I'm still not finished it. For as an example.
Mhm.
Because like this, I only watched about 15 minutes of the trailer, but what you described, especially the later on parts, because I didn't see the shootout, the racing, the driving shootout part.
Yeah.
That just seems really,
Well, from the looks
really
of it, and
interesting,
my
really
understanding is you'll be able to actually like drive around from point A to point B. Like this is like a much grander scale than even The Witcher 3 was, which was humongous.
neat.
And if I remember correctly, they were saying like this game's easily got like 60, 80 plus hours of gameplay in it. And that's insane. I don't know. I'm just, I talk about it and I look at it, I get kind of goosebumps because I'm like, man, I still can't believe that in this day and age we can have a game like that. Like this is going to probably raise the bar by which all games are going to be measured to going forward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'll be the new Crisis. It's like, can this game can this system run Cyberpunk 2077?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
yeah.
But also, like, if they're able to deliver that kind of scale of a game, like, I mean, I think a lot of people are starting to look at Witcher 3 as the standard for how you do a role playing game of that style, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be the same thing for shooters or shooter RPGs. Watch out, Bethesda.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's one of those games. I'm not totally against it. Like, I'm hearing you talk, and like you made the Deus Ex comparison. I was like,
I saw you. Yeah, I saw you make that reaction. I was like, oh, okay, he's starting to get hooked.
Yeah, because like I'm not really a person who plays like a lot of first person shooters. I try not to, like, and Deus Ex is probably like one of the exceptions that I'm like, I mean, like it looks interesting, but I don't know. I think I really got to see that whole video just to make more of a judgment, like, if I'm for it or against it, or I'm somewhere in the middle.
I strongly suggest do it and just give it a shot. Just watch it, and then I don't think we're seeing this for another 2 years, but
probably not.
No,
I still think it's a launch title for next systems, for next gen.
Yeah, because if I remember correctly, wasn't The Witcher 3 like at 3 straight E3s or something like that? So I don't see this game.
I'm not sure.
I remember it being like that. It was at E3, like it was like getting like Game Awards like 3 straight years in a row or something like that.
Okay.
And I would see this maybe not as a launch title, but like a title that comes out like maybe like if the consoles come out like in November or whatever.
For 6 months.
Yeah, first 6 months would be a good time to do that.
I would say definitely like a launch window title.
Yeah,
for sure. I think, but I mean, who knows? I'm just an idiot gamer. I don't know anything.
Well, if it does come out on the next iteration, then maybe the Sony people will finally get reflective puddles.
Do they have it in this one?
PS4 apparently can't do that.
Were there any reflective puddles in this game? No,
yeah, I don't know.
I didn't see any, but damn, I saw a whole lot of other things.
Yeah, jokes aside, this game, it does look interesting. I really wish I could rent it, or there'd be like a good demo or something. Like if they were to release a demo, because I think if I get my hands on it, that'll probably help determine.
I think there'll be a demo. I think there would be.
I hope so.
Even if it's just like 45 minutes of gameplay, like maybe even the same stuff that they just showed here in that preview, I think that would probably give people enough of a feel for the game if they're on the fence. But I like literally, you guys are the only 2 people I know that are on the fence. Everyone else I know, they're like, yep, day one, mine.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see what happens. See what more info we get in the coming months and potentially at E3 next year. Well, shall we move on to our final segment of the episode?
Yep.
Yes.
All right, Dennis, take it away.
So up next is the video game releases of the week, where I've searched far and wide over the internet for the game releases coming out for the week of September 3rd. So here we go. Let's jump in, shall we?
How'd you do that? It's actually, I'm not even mad. That's amazing.
Starting...
We shall jump in, Dennis.
Okay.
Let's do it.
We're jumping in. Because starting on September 3rd, the first game and only game coming out that day is Claws of Fury for Nintendo Switch. On September 4th, Ninja Clash of Carrots is coming to PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. Moonfall Ultimate is coming to PC, PS4, and Nintendo Switch. Full Blast is coming to PS4 and PS Vita. Continuing on, PlayerUnknown's Battleground 1.0 launches on Xbox One.
Finally.
Yeah, because didn't 1.0 launch in December for PC?
Yeah, something like that. It's been a long time. It's time. Hurry it up.
Yeah. God Wars: The Complete Legend is coming to Nintendo Switch. Son of Witch is also coming to Nintendo Switch. Coming to PC, PS4, and Xbox One, Genesis Alpha 1, Claws of Fury, Planet Alpha, and Super Street the Game are all coming. After that, coming to PC and PS4 is 428 Shibuya Scramble, Zone of the Enders, The Second Runner Mars, remake.
Bless you.
Sorry.
Shibuya, or whatever the hell you said.
Yeah. And also Dragon Quest XI Echoes of an Illusion Age. Continuing on, coming to PS4 and Xbox One, Shadows Awakening and Dimension Drive. Coming September 5th for Xbox One only is Moonfall Ultimate and Full Blast. September 6th, Aaliyah Episode 1 is coming to PC and Xbox One. Continuing on, coming to PC only, The Inner Friend, Another Sight, and Unknown Fates. Coming to Nintendo Switch only is Gone Home, Broforce, Kentucky Robo Chicken, or KRC. I felt I had to make that joke. And continuing on, Lifeless Planet Premier Edition and Hyper Light Drifter. After that, a game I really don't want to say, but I'm gonna have to say it. Siggy, A Fart for Melusina. Coming to PS4, PS Vita, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch.
I'm sorry. Can you say that again?
Siggy, A Fart for Melusina.
A fart or fort?
It's fart. F-A-R-T.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well then.
I don't...
Excuse you.
I don't make the game titles. I just copy and paste them.
I'm going to guess that might be a Japanese developer. Correct?
I think so.
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if it was an indie game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From the people who brought you Genital Jousting, a fart game.
Okay. Moving on from something that's inappropriate and on something that's equally as inappropriate. I can't speak. NSK Heroine Tag Team Frenzy is coming to PS4 and Nintendo Switch. The Puddle game is coming out. Marvel's Spider-Man is coming to PS4.
Love the Puddle game. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, so dumb. Dead Age is coming to Xbox One. Coming to PC, PS4, Xbox One, Immortal Unchained, and NASCAR Heat 3. Coming to PS4 and Xbox One, Arcade Islands Volume 1. And the first basketball game coming out this month, NBA Live 19. And after that, coming to Nintendo Switch only, Mummy Pinball, Super Inefficient Golf, and Full Blast. And finally, coming to Nintendo 3DS only, Yokai Watch Red Corpse and Yokai Watch Blaster's White Dog Squad. And that is it for the game releases of the week.
I'd say that's
Awesome.
That's a list and a half there.
Yeah, it's smaller than last week.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not as bad as last week's. I think last week's, the list was, an entire page and a half on its own?
It was like 60 something, like high 60s.
Yeah. It was a good third of the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, thanks,
man.
Dennis.
No problem.
Thanks, Dennis. Are you going to buy that fart game?
Probably not.
Come on.
No.
Come on.
Be inappropriate with the rest of us and buy the fart game.
Yeah, you claim you're an adult, so...
I claimed I was half a man.
So then you should really enjoy the fart jokes then.
Yeah, I guess.
Exactly.
I guess.
Oh, boy.
Oh, man. Way to go. Way to derail us, Dennis.
You're welcome.
Live shows are going to be so much fun.
Yeah, that'll be good, eh?
Yep.
I can't wait for that.
Men, 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 manly men, 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 manly men, men, men.
Men, 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 manly men. Woo-hoo-hoo.
Well, I would say that about wraps it up for this episode. Guys, if people wanted to connect with you online, where could they do so? Dennis?
You can finally find me mostly on Twitter at Hunter/13, where, I'm going to be counting down the last couple days till of freedom. And, yeah.
I'm playing the world's tiniest violin for you right now, okay?
Me too. I mean, like, you've been
that's how much
sleeping in.
sympathy.
The guy sends us messages at 1 in the afternoon. Oh, hey, guys, I just got up after having an 18-hour binge of Yakuza last night. How's it going? Dennis?
You know where you can find my sympathy,
Yeah.
Dennis?
Where?
It's in the dictionary between shit and syphilis.
What? That's harsh.
Wow.
That's so cold. You have ice in your veins, man. Is that pineapple pizza you're eating?
Oh, it's banana bread.
Oh,
Homemade?
Sure.
Does it have nuts in it?
Nope.
Oh,
fail.
yeah. Not homemade, no nuts.
I
Josh?
I don't even know him anymore. You can find me via carrier pigeon. I'm up here somewhere in Canada with really piss poor internet. And also on Twitter at Xbox Canada. That's mostly where you'll find me. Talking nonsense.
Nice. And you can find me on Twitter at ReggieFeedsAmeme, or you can find us as a group on our group Twitter account, which is at Canadian Geek CST. We also have a website, which is CanadianGeekCST.wixsite.com/home, where you can find each of our profiles as well as links to every episode that we have released. So be sure to tune in next week, where I think we might have most of us back.
At least 4.
I'm
Yeah.
not here next week. I'm in Las Vegas doing
That's right,
bad
yeah.
things.
And I think we'll probably try and get Steve to give us a big recap of Fan Expo that he was at. Seeing the pictures and stuff looks like it's a lot of fun. The lines for Smash Ultimate are just ridiculous.
Hmm.
I saw some pictures of that. That's just insane. That is absolutely insane. I can't understand waiting in line for hours just to play 10, 15 minutes of a game. It's just that's nuts. So
Yeah, people
I agree.
will go to Extreme Lakes for December's biggest game.
that's true. Hopefully Nintendo's got a shit ton of Switches sitting in warehouses for release, because I think the Switch is going to be one of the most difficult systems to find this holiday season.
I think Biomutant's going to be the bigger game in December.
Which game?
Biomutant. I'm just kidding. But it does look awesome. So, yeah, there's actually a couple of games in December, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
That's weird.
there is the first episode of a dungeon RPG that yours truly is voicing a character in, which is coming out on Xbox and Steam in December.
Cool.
Nice.
So I'll have more info on that towards the end of the year. But
Nice.
yeah, I'm stoked for that.
I'm excited for you.
But that I'd say that's enough random convo for this episode. So be
Bad
sure
attitude.
to.
You got any more?
No,
No,
I'm
I think
done.
we're done.
Okay.
Yeah. So be sure to tune in next week, where we are going to discuss even more things geeky and why homemade banana bread with nuts is the best thing ever.
Hey, if someone wants to make it for me, I'll eat it.
Wait, you can't bake? It's easy.
I know it's easy. I just don't want to bother getting ingredients.
Shameful. Kids these days.
Oh my goodness. That'll be on the next episode of Canadian Geekcast. Is that Sunny D?
Dude, you got Sunny D out your nose? That was amazing.
Ew. You man. I got Sunny D all up my nose.
Oh, man. No kidding.
I'm getting a tissue.
Me too.
Oh, God. Of all the times when I wish
I turned
we were
mine back
recording
on
this
just because of
video.
that.
Oh, that is totally going in a blooper.
Outstanding.
I really hope that Dennis was recording his audio at that point, too. Oh.
Yeah, it kind of has to. What does Sunny D feel like coming out your nose like that?
Were you recording audio there, Dennis?
It's still,
Please
it's
tell me you
still,
were.
it's still going.
Yes!
Oh God.
That's going in the episode. Oh, God.
Oh. Oh my God. Oh.
Oh.
No, I enjoyed every
I
second
actually
of that.
snorted, too.
Yeah, I think I got the worst end of it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh my God.
That is awesome.
It's not awesome. It's really
yes,
not.
it is.
Not for me.
Yes, it is.
Oh.